Hello, I'm Czardus, and welcome back to my Cities Skylines for New Players series. Today we are going to be talking about map themes and LUTs, or color corrections. But before we do that, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. I have loads of other content from Cities Skylines that you might enjoy. And anyway, so map themes. First of all, what are map themes and what are LUTs? Well, a map theme is a thing that changes the textures in the map. So here we have a texture. This one in particular is, if we go to natural resources, that is the oil texture. Over here is ore for the map, and this one is fertile land. So there are different textures on the map, and then of course there's cliff texture, there's sand texture, there's water textures, there's all kinds of different textures, and the map theme itself will determine what that is. And the color correction just changes the lighting. It doesn't change the textures in use on the map at all, it only changes the lighting. We can see the difference here. I'm going to use a couple of mods that we can use to change things up. One is Theme Mixer 2. It's a very useful mod for changing themes. You can change themes right on the fly. So like here's one theme. You can see the textures involved changed significantly. Here's another one. These are all from the Steam Workshop, by the way. And so you can see the difference that the changing the theme is having on here. There's also a winter theme from the Steam Workshop that adds snow. So those are one way of doing things, or like that's how to change a theme on the fly. You can also change a LUT. This mod is called Ultimate Eye Candy, and you can go in and you can change a LUT on the fly using that mod. So you can see how these are done, or like the difference that they use, or that they create just in here. And I'll show you in just a moment how to change those without a mod, but I wanted to quickly be able to show you the difference here. Okay, so very quickly, if you are not using mods, you can change your map theme when you are selecting a new game. You can go over to Custom Map Theme and select a different map theme that you have from this drop-down menu. Or if you're loading an existing game, you can go to Load Game, and then you can select a different theme here. So those are ways that you can change the theme. Changing the LUT is a little bit easier. Let's load up our city again. Okay, here we are back in the city, and we can go into the main menu here and go to Options, and then go to your Color Correction Override, and you can change your LUT there without using any mods. So LUTs can be changed in your save without using mods, but the theme can only be changed by using Theme Mixer or before you load the save itself. So those are things to keep in mind in your save and how to use LUTs and themes in your save. Now let's take a look at how to create a custom theme. So now we're back to the main menu again. You can find the theme editor by going to Editors, Theme Editor, and then if you hit New, you can create a new theme. You have to select a base theme for your theme, and that determines what trees will be involved from your from the vanilla trees and stuff like that. Or it also changes if you go over to European, that will change the base style of the buildings. Or a winter map would change the whether or not it is a snowfall, and heating would be included or needed and stuff like that. Other than that, the base theme really only changes what loads in terms of the textures when you go in. So let's go ahead and hit create for a temperate one. Okay, so now we are in the theme editor, and there are a few things to keep in mind here. There are different things that you can do to your theme. First of all, you can change the textures by going down here, and these are all different textures that you can select. I don't have any textures available for me to show you how this works, but if you go to textures.com, you can select different textures to use. And then you can put them in, if you click on this folder here, it will bring up an a Windows Explorer that shows you what folder to put the texture into, and that is how you can get them in there. But even without textures, you can make changes to a theme. If we go here and select the diffuse tiling, this is the cliff texture here, we can change the look of it just by changing the tiling. And so that is a very easy and basic way to change the look of your game. You can see the difference that it makes when you turn the tiling all the way up. It's very smooth, or it can be very rough with it all the way that way. There are other ones that you can change there as well. And then you can also change the normal tiling, which is pretty similar to that. You can lower that way down there, and then this one. There's so many different combinations that you can do with this. Other things you can do is the what are called the sprites in the game. That's these little tufts of grass. If you go here to geometry details, you can turn those off. Fertile is where there is fertile land. You can turn them off. I don't think we have fertile land here. I don't know where they put it on the text. Here it is. So this is fertile land. If you remove the sprites from that, then if you put fertile land in your map, that is where the sprites are. If you don't like those at all, you can take them off entirely. Rots show up on the on here. You can see these are little rots. If you take them off, they disappear entirely as well. The other thing is you can change the offsets of things. So if we go over here to the fertile land, we can change that. So this is the red part, the green part, and so on. If you change this to something else, let's say 1, if we do 0 of the other ones, it should have changed there to be more red on that. Oh, maybe that's here. Fertile. Let's do that. 1. Now it's red. So that has changed the fertile land to being red. So that's one thing you can do with that. You could reset, and those will go back to the default. Water, you can change the texture of the water and the foam of the water with different textures. You can also change the base color of the water. If we go over here, this is clean water in here, and you can change the hue or the color that is being used. You could even make it red. You could have red water. Whatever you want to do, you can do it pretty much in the theme. Then the atmosphere properties. You can change the look of your sun. Let's change the time of day so we can see the sun a little bit better. There it is. You change the longitude, it changes the angle of the sun. And the same with the latitude, it can change it a little bit. You can also change the size of the sun if you want to create like an alien world that you're working on, or the anisotropy. And I don't even know how to say that word, but you can change how that looks as well. At nighttime, you can change the look of the moon. Let's find the moon. There's the moon. Get that in view nice. You can change the texture of it. You can change the size of it, or you can change some of the lighting with it as well. You can also change things with the sky. You can change ray light scattering and other scattering. At nighttime, you can change the intensity of the stars, so they can become more intense or less intense, depending on what you want, or just general sky or space intensity. Exposure will change the exposure of the land. So you can see that brightens it up at nighttime, and it also makes it way brighter during the daytime. So that can change that exposure. Then these are different textures for structures. So different buildings will look different depending on the theme as well. Weather properties, you can change some of that here too. You can change when daytime starts and nighttime starts. You can change how often it rains and the probability of other things. You can change whether or not you have northern lights. If we put this on all the time, maybe it doesn't show. But that is something that happens with probability. So if another day comes on, we should see northern lights. But maybe not. Anyway, so that's one thing you can change with the probabilities. You can change if you have natural disasters, DLC, you can change the probability of the disasters. And you can add names to the theme names. So when you are creating a district or when a building spawns, it could come up with a name that you've put in here. Finally, the theme settings. You can just take your snapshot, and that will be what shows up when you go to save. That's your snapshot, and that will be what it shows in the content manager when you're looking at the theme there. So with themes, it is actually, I find it easier to just find a theme that you like from the Steam Workshop if you have access to that, and then you can really have a wide range of different themes available on that workshop. A lot of people have already done that. I don't even know how to edit a color correction or a LUT. Those I've always just gotten from the Steam Workshop. I highly recommend that. There's so many great ones there. And once again, there are 3 very useful mods for themes and LUTs. One is Theme Mixer 2, which, let's get this to daytime. You can see a little bit better. Theme Mixer 2 is down here. You can find that on the Steam Workshop. And again, you can change the themes a lot. You can mix your textures from different themes together. So we could have a grass from the Boreal theme, or we could have it from a different one, and so on and so forth. You can just mix them together. You can do different changes to your theme from the game itself. And this is if you load the game in a game file or a save file, you can do all of that as well. And it's pretty much the theme editor from the game itself. Ultimate Eye Candy is another one. Let me get back into a save file and we can look at that. Okay, now we are in a save file. You can go to Ultimate Eye Candy. Here is another great mod. You can change the time of day with that. You can change the speed of the day-night cycle. You can change your latitude and longitude and other stuff. You can change the weather a little bit. And I showed you earlier, you can change the LUT on the fly. That is really the useful part that I wanted to emphasize in this video. You can also save your presets and load them back up if you have multiple save files like me. The final mod that I recommend for themes and LUTs is one called Environment Changer. And that one allows you to change the base theme of a city. So if I wanted to turn this one into a snowfall map, I could do that with the environment changer, and then it would be snowfall. And you do that when you're loading the game. I don't have it on the Steam profile, so I can't show it to you right now, but that is something to keep in mind, is that environment changer mod. But that is it from me for themes and LUTs. I hope you found this video useful. The next video will be on basic asset editing, so be sure to check that out. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Take care.